Asia is calling. Ancient temples, street food that will change your life, beaches that look like screensavers. But some of those destinations are hiding dangers that will drain your savings, ruin your trip, and in the worst cases put you in serious danger. Today we are ranking 14 Asian countries you need to stay away from, and 5 that actually deliver on every promise. Stay until the end. The best ones might surprise you completely. Number 14, Afghanistan. We start at the absolute bottom, and nothing on this list comes close to this entry. Afghanistan is not a travel destination. It has not been one since the Taliban retook control in 2021, and the situation on the ground has only hardened since then. Every major government travel advisory in the world, the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, all of them carry the same message: do not go. The risk of kidnapping, armed attack, and detention is not theoretical. It is documented, ongoing, and without any reliable mechanism for help if something goes wrong. There is no functioning embassy network for most Western nations. There is no emergency consular access. If you are detained, if you are harmed, if you simply need help, the infrastructure that normally exists behind the scenes of international travel does not exist here. Aid workers operating inside Afghanistan with years of local experience and dedicated security teams have been killed and abducted. Journalists have disappeared. The idea that an independent tourist could navigate this safely is simply not supported by any evidence. Healthcare is catastrophic. What medical infrastructure existed before the collapse has deteriorated sharply. For any serious medical event, the answer is effectively that no adequate care exists. Power, clean water, and food security are not guaranteed outside the largest cities. And even in those cities, conditions are harsh. Afghanistan was once one of the great destinations of the ancient Silk Road. Bamiyan Valley, the Band Amir Lakes, the old city of Herat. That history is real. That beauty is real. But none of it is accessible right now in any way that a responsible travel guide can endorse. And, speaking of countries where the political situation has made danger inescapable, the next destination on this list is one where tourists have been caught in the crossfire of something far bigger than a simple crime problem. Number 13, Myanmar. Before 2021 was one of Southeast Asia's most extraordinary destinations. Bagan's temple fields at sunrise, Inla Lake, the warmth of the Burmese people. It earned its reputation completely. Then the military coup happened, and everything changed. Armed conflict between the military junta and resistance forces now covers significant portions of the country. Entire regions are active war zones. Civilians have been killed in airstrikes. Towns have been burned. The humanitarian situation is one of the most severe in Asia right now. Tourists who have entered Myanmar since the coup have found themselves stranded by sudden curfews, caught near fighting, and detained by authorities suspicious of foreign presence in conflict areas. The junta has used tourism revenue to fund its military operations, which means that money you spend there directly supports the regime that is carrying out documented atrocities against its own people. That ethical dimension sits alongside the physical danger in a way that is impossible to separate. Infrastructure that existed before the coup is degraded. International banking connections have been severed from many institutions. Getting money in and out of the country is genuinely difficult. Power outages are frequent and prolonged. The internet is throttled and monitored. Myanmar will be extraordinary again. That day is not today, and it may not come for years. The next country on this list is one where the danger is not a war, but an industry built on targeting visitors, and it operates at a scale that is genuinely shocking. Number 12, Pakistan. Pakistan is complicated in a way that demands honesty rather than easy categorization. There are parts of Pakistan that are extraordinary. The Karakoram Highway is one of the great road journeys on the planet. The ancient ruins at Mohenjo-Daro are world-class. Northern Pakistan, particularly around Gilgit-Baltistan and the Hunza Valley, has a breathtaking landscape that genuinely competes with anything in the Himalayas. But the security situation across much of the country is severe. The border regions with Afghanistan carry active militant threat. Baluchistan has documented kidnapping risk for foreign nationals. Terrorist attacks targeting public spaces, markets, and religious gatherings have occurred repeatedly in recent years in Karachi, Lahore, and Peshawar. Even in cities that feel manageable on the surface, the risk profile is elevated in ways that require professional security assessment, not a travel blog. For senior travelers or anyone without deep local contacts and serious pre-trip security planning, Pakistan, outside of the carefully managed northern trekking corridors, is not a reasonably independent destination. The healthcare picture is uneven. Major private hospitals in Islamabad and Lahore are functional. Outside those centers, quality drops sharply. Medical evacuation for complex cases is the realistic answer for serious events, and the logistics of that evacuation from remote areas are not straightforward. The next country on this list has a danger that wears a much more welcoming face, making it one of the most deceptive entries on this entire countdown. Number 11. Indonesia. Indonesia is one of the most visited countries in Asia, and for good reason. Bali is genuinely beautiful. Komodo is unlike anything else on Earth. The food, the culture, the landscapes across 17,000 islands, all of it is real and compelling. But Indonesia belongs on this list because of specific documentable risks that the tourism industry works very hard to keep out of your pre-trip reading. The first is natural disaster exposure. Indonesia sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire and is one of the most seismically active places on the planet. Earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions are not rare events here. They happen with regularity, and when they do, the emergency response infrastructure outside Bali and Java's main cities is limited. The 2018 Lombok earthquake and the subsequent tsunami killed over 500 people. The infrastructure for warning and response in many areas remains inadequate. The second is the legal environment. Indonesian drug laws carry mandatory death penalty provisions. Tourists have been arrested, tried, and executed for offenses that would carry minor penalties in other jurisdictions. The case of Chapel Corby became international news, but it is not an isolated story. The gap between what you assume about legal risk and what the Indonesian legal system actually applies can be life-ending. Bali specifically has a serious scam economy and an increasingly hostile attitude towards certain tourist behaviors, with new regulations that carry real penalties for violation. The next destination is one that millions of people visit every year with almost no awareness of how systematically it targets visitors financially and sometimes physically. Number 10. India. India is one of the great civilizations on Earth. The Taj Mahal, Rajasthan, Kerala, Varanasi. The depth of history and culture here is without parallel in the entire world. That is not in dispute. What is also not in dispute is that India presents a set of challenges for tourists that require serious preparation and honest assessment. For women traveling alone, India carries a documented and severe safety concern. Sexual assault targeting female tourists has been reported in every major destination, from Delhi to Goa. The problem is structural, not isolated, and the government's response has been inconsistent. Solo female travel in India requires specific, vetted planning that goes well beyond what most travel guides provide. For all travelers, the health risk in India is significant. Food and waterborne illness is common and can turn serious quickly. Air quality in major cities like Delhi is among the worst in the world, a genuine medical concern for travelers with respiratory conditions or cardiovascular disease. The healthcare system is a two-tier reality. Excellent private hospitals exist in major cities, but access to them in an emergency from a tourist destination requires knowing where to go and having the financial coverage to get there. The scam economy in India, particularly at transport hubs and major tourist sites, is sophisticated, persistent, and relentless. From fake tour operators to rigged meters, to elaborate schemes involving closed monuments and detours to commission shops, the pressure on tourists is constant and exhausting. The next country takes that kind of organized tourist targeting and brings it to a level that most visitors are genuinely not prepared for. Nani, Vietnam. Vietnam is one of Southeast Asia's most compelling destinations. The food alone, pho, banh mi, and fresh spring rolls from a street cart in Hoi An is worth the trip in theory. Halong Bay, Hoi An's lantern-lit streets, the history of Hanoi, all of it earns genuine admiration. But Vietnam has a specific problem that hits travelers harder than almost anywhere else in Asia: the organized scam industry. Fake travel agencies running fraudulent tours are documented across major cities. Taximeters that run at multiples of the actual rate are common. Cyclo drivers who agree on a price and then demand 10 times that amount on arrival operate in every major tourist center. The gem and jewelry scam, where tourists are invited to transport goods, home duty-free for a profit, has trapped people in legally dangerous situations. These are not random incidents. They are organized, rehearsed, and highly effective at extracting money from people who arrived with their guard down. For senior travelers, the physical infrastructure of Vietnam presents real challenges. Traffic in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City is chaotic at a level that has no equivalent in Western cities. Crossing the street is a skill that takes real learning. And for anyone with mobility limitations or slower reaction times, it presents genuine physical risk. Road accidents are one of the leading causes of tourist injury in the country. Healthcare in major cities has improved significantly. In rural and remote areas, it remains limited. Medical evacuation insurance is not optional for older travelers visiting outside the major urban centers. The next destination is one where the scams are more sophisticated, the legal risks are higher, and the gap between the tourism image and the reality is perhaps the widest on this list. Number 8. Cambodia. Angkor Wat is one of the genuine wonders of the world. Full stop. The scale, the artistry, the spiritual weight of that temple complex at dawn is an experience that stays with people for decades. Cambodia has that going for it completely. What Cambodia also has is one of the most aggressive tourist-targeting ecosystems in Southeast Asia, a deeply corrupt law enforcement structure, and specific risks around spiked drinks, express robbery, and sexual exploitation that are documented, ongoing, and underreported. Drug availability in Cambodia is high, and the line between a bar offering drinks and one where substances are added without consent is not always visible until it is too late. Robbery of incapacitated tourists is a documented pattern in Siem Reap and Phnom Penh nightlife areas. The legal system in Cambodia offers tourists almost no protection. Bribery is structural rather than exceptional. If you are the victim of a crime, your ability to get meaningful police response is low. If you are accused of something, your ability to get fair treatment is lower. The power differential between a foreign visitor and local authorities is real and documented. Infrastructure outside the main tourist corridors is poor. Healthcare in Phnom Penh and Siem Reap has improved modestly, but remains well below the standard required for serious medical events. Medical evacuation to Bangkok is the standard response for anything complex. The next country on this list surprises you, because its danger comes wrapped in some of the most effective tourism marketing in the world. Number 7. The Philippines. The Philippines has more than 7,000 islands, extraordinary marine biodiversity, world-class diving, and one of the most genuinely warm and English-speaking populations in Asia. The appeal is completely real. But the Philippines has a fragmented security picture that requires destination-by-destination assessment, and most tourists do not do that assessment. The southern islands, particularly Mindanao and the Sulu archipelago, carry active kidnapping risk involving armed groups including Abu Sayyaf, which has targeted foreign nationals specifically. Those areas are not theoretical risk. They are active threat zones with documented recent incidents. Manila has crime rates that require consistent situational awareness. Scams at the airport, in taxis, and in tourist areas are well organized and frequently reported. The road death rate in the Philippines is among the highest in Asia. For senior travelers, the typhoon exposure of the Philippines is a specific planning consideration. The country sits in one of the world's most active typhoon corridors. Flights cancel, infrastructure floods, and evacuation becomes extremely difficult when a storm hits. Travel, timing, and comprehensive insurance are not optional considerations. Healthcare in Manila and Cebu City is functional for moderate cases. Serious cardiac events at resort destinations in the outer islands carry real logistical challenges around evacuation. And now we move into different territory entirely. The next entry begins the part of this list where destinations actually earn your trust. Number 6. Nepal sits at the transition point on this list, and it belongs here not because it is dangerous in the way the countries above it are dangerous, but because it presents specific, serious risks that travelers routinely underestimate. The first is altitude. Acute mountain sickness kills people every trekking season who did not take it seriously enough. Ascending too quickly, ignoring symptoms, pushing past warning signs. These are not dramatic mistakes. They are common ones. High-altitude pulmonary edema and high-altitude cerebral edema can be fatal within hours. For senior travelers with cardiovascular conditions, high-altitude trekking in Nepal requires medical clearance and a detailed emergency plan. not just excitement and good boots. The second is infrastructure. Outside Kathmandu and the established trekking routes, Nepal is genuinely remote. Road conditions are poor, landslides block routes regularly. Healthcare in remote areas is limited to basic aid stations. Helicopter evacuation from high-altitude locations is weather-dependent and expensive. Nepal also has significant earthquake risk. The 2015 earthquake killed nearly 9,000 people and caused catastrophic damage to historical sites in Kathmandu Valley, some of which remain only partially restored. What Nepal offers in return is extraordinary. The Himalaya, the culture of the Kathmandu Valley, the warmth of Nepali hospitality. For well-prepared, physically appropriate travelers, Nepal rewards enormously, but the preparation requirement is higher here than almost anywhere else on this list. The next destination is one where the rewards are high and the risks with the right planning become genuinely manageable. Number 5, Sri Lanka has had a difficult few years. The economic crisis of 2022, with its fuel shortages, power cuts, and political upheaval, was one of the most dramatic collapses of a middle-income country in recent memory. The images of protesters storming the presidential palace went around the world. But Sri Lanka has stabilized significantly since that crisis, and what remains is one of the most underrated destinations in all of Asia. The country is extraordinarily beautiful. Sigiriya's rock fortress rising from the jungle, Ella's green hills and tea plantations, the ancient city of Polonnaruwa, the beaches of the southern coast, the wildlife in Yala. Sri Lanka packs more genuine variety into a small geographic space than almost any destination in this region. The safety picture for tourists has improved materially since the economic crisis and the earlier shadow of the Easter Sunday bombings in 2019. Those events require acknowledgement, but the security response that followed was substantial, and Sri Lanka's tourism industry has been working methodically to rebuild trust. Petty crime targeting. Tourists exist and requires normal urban awareness. Serious violent crime targeting tourists is rare. Healthcare in Colombo is reasonable for a developing country. Outside the capital, quality drops and medical evacuation. Planning for serious events is sensible. Sri Lanka is not without uncertainty. But for travelers who want extraordinary beauty, deep culture, and real value at a price point well below Thailand or the Maldives, it earns its place here. Now we are into the top 4, and this is where the destinations genuinely deliver. Number 4, Japan. Japan is one of the safest countries on the entire planet, full stop. The statistics on violent crime here are not just good by Asian standards, they are exceptional by any global measure. Tourists lose wallets in Japan and get them returned with the cash still inside. That is not a myth. It reflects a cultural relationship with property and community that is structural and consistent. The infrastructure in Japan is among the best in the world. The Shinkansen bullet train network is fast, reliable, and on time to the minute. Signage is bilingual. The healthcare system, while navigating it as a foreign patient has its complexities, is technically excellent. Major cities have international hospitals and medical concierge services oriented toward visitors. Cost has actually improved significantly for international visitors following yen depreciation in recent years. Japan, which was once considered expensive, now offers remarkable value for travelers coming from the US, Europe, or Australia. The food, from 700 yen ramen shops to multi-course kazeski, is world-class at every price point. The natural disaster consideration is real and worth naming. Honestly, Japan sits on active seismic zones. Earthquakes happen. Typhoon season affects the country. Japan's emergency preparedness and response infrastructure is, however, among the best in the world for managing exactly these events. Japan is not without its entry challenges for independent travelers unfamiliar with its systems, but the payoff is a country that is genuinely extraordinary and genuinely safe. The next destination takes safety and combines it with one of the most unique experiences available anywhere in Asia. Number 3, Taiwan. Taiwan is one of Asia's most underappreciated destinations, and that underappreciation is changing fast. The safety record is excellent. Violent crime is rare. The political situation, while carrying a geopolitical dimension that bears monitoring, has not affected the day-to-day safety of tourists. In any documented way, the country is stable, democratic, and well-governed. Taipei is one of the safest major cities in Asia. The food scene in Taiwan is extraordinary. The night markets, from Shilin in Taipei to Luhe in Kaohsiung, are a legitimate culinary destination. Din Tai Fung, the soup dumpling chain that started here, has lines around the block for good reason. Beyond Taipei, the east coast of Taiwan offers dramatic mountain and ocean scenery that most international visitors never reach. Infrastructure is exceptional. The high-speed rail connects Taipei to Kaohsiung in 90 minutes. The MRT system in Taipei is clean, efficient, and easy to navigate. The healthcare system is among the best in Asia. National health insurance covers emergency care for visitors in many circumstances, and the standard of hospital care in major cities is genuinely high. Cost represents real value. Taiwan is significantly more affordable than Japan, while offering a comparable level of safety, infrastructure quality, and culinary depth. The next destination takes everything great about this region and adds a specific factor that makes it uniquely appealing. Number 2, Singapore. Singapore has the lowest crime rate in Asia. It is not close. The city-state operates under a governance model that prioritizes public safety, institutional integrity, and infrastructure quality at a level that no other Asian destination matches. Changi Airport has been the world's best airport for years. The MRT is impeccable. The streets are clean. The legal system works and is taken seriously by everyone operating within it. For senior travelers in particular, Singapore's healthcare system is the strongest argument of all. Singapore General Hospital, Mount Elizabeth, Gleneagles. These are internationally accredited facilities operating at first world standards. For anyone traveling with cardiovascular conditions, diabetes, or complex health needs, the peace of mind that comes with knowing world-class care is accessible within the city is something that cannot be replicated elsewhere in the region. The food is extraordinary. Hawker centers serve Michelin-recognized food at prices that make the quality almost unbelievable. The Gardens by the Bay Light Show is one of the most spectacular free experiences in Asia. The cultural layering of Chinese, Malay, Indian, and Peranakan influence creates something genuinely unique. The cost is high. Singapore is an expensive city by any standard, but what you pay for is a destination where almost nothing goes wrong, where the experience matches the expectation, and where the infrastructure handles everything smoothly. Singapore's only limitation is its size. It is a city-state. You can cover it thoroughly in 4 or 5 days, as a base for regional travel, or as a standalone destination for those who want urban excellence with zero anxiety. It belongs exactly where it is on this list. The number 1 spot goes to a destination that combines everything Singapore does well with something Singapore cannot offer. Number 1. Bhutan. Bhutan measures its success not in GDP, but in gross national happiness. That is not a marketing line, it is a constitutional principle, and the entire structure of how Bhutan manages tourism flows directly from it. Bhutan charges a sustainable development fee for every day of a visit. That fee is high, currently $200 per person per day for most international visitors. It covers accommodation, a certified guide, transport within the country, and a contribution to the national fund that maintains Bhutan's extraordinary environmental and cultural integrity. It is not a scam. It is a deliberate, highly effective filter that ensures everyone who enters Bhutan has thought carefully about why they are going and has the resources to do it responsibly. The result is a country where over-tourism does not exist, where the monasteries are not crowded, where the natural environment, more than 70% of Bhutan is covered in forest, has been protected with constitutional force, where the experience of being in Bhutan feels genuinely removed from the commercial noise that saturates almost every other destination in Asia. Safety in Bhutan is exceptional. Violent crime is extraordinarily rare. The country has no traffic lights in its capital, Thimphu, because they were tried once and found to make things feel too impersonal. That detail says something about the scale and the character of the place. The healthcare situation is honest. Bhutan's medical infrastructure is limited, and for serious events, evacuation to Bangkok or India is required. That is the single trade-off at the top of this list, and it requires proper insurance coverage and realistic pre-trip planning. The Paro Valley, Tiger's Nest Monastery, perched on a cliff face above the clouds. The sacred Punakha Dzong, at the confluence of 2 rivers, the Autumn Festival at Thimphu. These are not experiences that can be replicated anywhere else in Asia. They exist here, protected, maintained, and genuinely extraordinary because Bhutan made a deliberate decision to keep them that way. The best Asian destination is not the most famous. It is the one that fits how you travel, what you value, and what you need to feel genuinely at peace. For travelers who want beauty, safety, meaning, and an experience unlike anything else on Earth, that destination is Bhutan. Thanks for watching. If this list helped you choose smarter, drop your destination in the comments right now. We read every single one. Want to see the safest and most dangerous destinations in South America? Click the video on your left. And if you want breakdowns like this every single week, hit subscribe right now. See you in the next one.